I'm going to show you how to instantly increase your return on ad spend from your Facebook ads. So I've scaled multiple direct-to-consumer e-commerce brands to high 6 and 7 figure revenues. I originally started with my own supplement brand back in 2015, and I literally took the hardest possible journey. It took me almost 5 years to make my first brand scalable and profitable, mostly because I just did not know what I was doing. When I started, I'd never built a business before. I had no idea how to make a high converting website. I didn't know anything about customer profiling. I had no idea about cash flows, cash conversion cycles, Facebook ads, social media, graphic design, you name it. I didn't know anything. I had to figure this all out the hard way. But once I'd finally managed to figure everything out, I applied those same exact strategies to other brands, and I was able to scale them from 10 to 20 to 100k months almost instantly. Luckily, when I started out my business, I managed to stay lean. I didn't run out of money, but I know most businesses don't. They burn fast and they burn hard. They don't really take the time to ensure that they're building efficient or effective sales machines, which I refer to as your technology stack or your website. You see, the problem I had is I had no mentors. I had no business network. I was stuck in the northeast of England, no good people around me, no entrepreneurs. So I literally just had to figure things out on my own. And this took me so long. At the time, the only resources I could afford to learn from were books and YouTube. The problem was back in 2015, YouTube wasn't really awfully relevant to online sales. Like Shopify wasn't really a thing. I mean, now there's plenty, but I'd argue now there's almost too much information, which can be conflicting. And for you guys, it can be quite confusing to know actually who's right. Once I'd figured out what not to do, I was able to implement my newly found superpower of digital marketing to scale brands to 6-figure months profitably, and generally within about a 3-month range. So I've been able to constantly achieve over 7 figures annually with at least 2 to 3 brands, normally sitting around 4 to 8 times return on ad spend. I mean, this isn't just a theory. Like, these are real proven strategies that you can copy and apply to your own business to ensure that you see results in your own store. The thing is, once I take a step back, it all came back around to optimizing my conversion engine. So we all know paid traffic is very important. It's an important first step, but mostly it's about being able to capture, retain, and convert that attention into money, into sales. So let's get into the best ways that I've learned that you can copy so that we can really optimize your return on ad spend. Let's start with the key metrics. Understanding ROAS, or return on ad spend. Many e-commerce owners and marketers misunderstand really what goes into ROAS. It's essential to break down ROAS into its 2 main components. This is CPA, which is your cost per acquisition, and AOV, which is your average order value. Your cost per acquisition, essentially in a nutshell, is the cost of acquiring a new customer, and your AOV, your average order value, is the amount that each customer spends at the point of purchase. In order to increase your return on ad spend, you need to focus on these components submetrics. So your CPA is comprised of your traffic and your website conversion rate, and your AOV directly reflects your business model and can be influenced by various strategies. Most businesses understand this, but where a lot of people go wrong is if you want to increase your ROAS, you need to break it down into its constituent elements. If you just say, I want to increase ROAS, it's going to be very difficult. But if you increase the constituent parts, that's where most of the benefits come. Let's look into it. So your CPA, your cost per acquisition, let's break this down into your traffic and conversion rate. CPA is made up of 2 main areas. The first one is the traffic, and the second one is the conversion rate of your website. You need to get traffic to your site, but the more traffic you convert, the better your CPA becomes. Traffic, if we drill into that a little bit, can also be broken down into CPC, which is your cost per click, and CTR, which is your click-through rate. These are ad metrics, really. They come from your actual ad campaigns. Conversion rate, on the other hand, is a website metric, and this is determined by your website, which is actually in your control. Let's look at AOV just for a second. So your average order value directly reflects your business model. The biggest mistake people make when trying to increase ROAS is focusing all of their efforts on the front end, on their ads, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Google. But your ad metrics only account for 1/3 of actually what goes into your ROAS. The real gains come from improving your conversion rate and AOV, which are entirely within your control. This is key because now, instead of leaving something up to Facebook or the algorithm, this is something we can take ownership of. Okay. Now, the biggest mistake I see for entrepreneurs, particularly when they're in that 0 to 10, 20, even 30K a month phase, is they overemphasize the focus on ads. Because so many businesses focus exclusively on their ad metrics, so their CPC, CTR, which only account for 1/3 of your ROAS. The real gains come from improving your conversion rates in AOV, which, as I said before, they're in your control. The problem is, most businesses are way too focused on the front end and not on the systems that actually convert that attention into money, i.e. your website. We'll get into how to optimize your Facebook ads in a different episode. But for now, if you have a problem with your ads, you will know this because you're not getting traffic to your website. Remember, your Facebook, if you look in the metrics, your CPMs will be too high and the cost of traffic will soar. So say through Facebook ads, you don't just want traffic to your site. You don't just want eyeballs. You want high affinity, relevant customers with high buying intent. This again comes back to knowing your customer, which we'll get into a little further on. Okay, let's have a look and center some time on your conversion rate. This is the game changer. Before touching your ads, focus on your website's conversion rate. Improvements in this area will significantly increase your ROAS. Please, please, please do not run ads if you've not properly optimized your product or landing page. I can't stress this enough. I run weekly calls with entrepreneurs and brands, and most times you can see these on YouTube as well. I spend probably about 80% of the time on the call just optimizing their landing page. There's usually so much low-hanging fruit in that product or landing page, and I usually suggest that they just stop advertising for the time being until they've first fixed those important web pages. I'll cover the key core elements, again, of a winning landing page in a separate episode. But for now, here are just some top tips that you can take away straight away to increase your conversion rate on your website. Number 1, your copy. By copy, I mean your copywriting, your text. If you're able to enhance your website's sales copy, your product descriptions, your landing pages, the more compelling and persuasive your sales copy, the higher the likelihood you'll be able to convert visitors into paying customers. Please learn and study the art of sales and marketing. This is one of the most high leverage tasks that you can spend your time doing. A lot of people come to me asking for book recommendations. This is where I would start 100% of the time. Another trick is to model other successful businesses within your niche and emulate what's working for them. I guarantee these guys will have a whole team of paid professionals. They're cycling through ads, they're cycling through creative, they're constantly running iterations on their landing page, so you know they're going to be good, particularly so if they've been running or they stay the same for a long time. So just emulate them, copy them. Don't copy them directly, but take inspiration from them and see how you can apply certain elements to your own product page. Second, this is a nice easy one, but site speed. Like, we know consumers will probably give you maximum 3 seconds of their time. If for those important 3 seconds they're waiting for the page to load, then your ROAS is down the pan straight away. So please take time to ensure your web page is loading fast. A slow website can literally lead to high bounce rates, and this, of course, is going to have that unintended consequences of not converting this traffic into sales. Third, your customer experience. Now, I'm not talking about customer service. What I'm talking about is being able to optimize the layout of your product or landing pages. So I'm talking about a clean, intuitive, user-friendly design that almost invites visitors to stay on your site and ultimately make a purchase. Spend time mapping out your UX, which is your user experience, and make sure that every single pixel has a reason for existence. This is particularly so when we're talking about that above the fold, which is that kind of first part of the landing page that loads. Okay, this is like super important. And if you watch any of my videos with other brands, we spend quite a lot of time on how to optimize this. Okay, number 4 is basically making use of videos and reviews. So super simple, but just make sure that you're incorporating videos and customer testimonials. Videos can engage visitors and provide a way more comprehensive overview of your product, while the testimonial side of things builds trust and credibility, so pair the two together. UGC, which is your user-generated content, will form a critical element and part of this, but try and go above and beyond with your customer media just to make sure that customers know these reviews are legitimate. Again, we're trying to build as much trust as possible on the front end. Now, for those of you who know me, you'll know I spend quite a lot of time with early stage entrepreneurs assessing their webpage. I go in with the intention of helping them with all of their systems, but as I said, we end up spending a lot more time just focusing on their landing or product pages. If you'd like to book a call in with me to run through your own brand store, you can do so via the link in the description, or by applying to join my new school community. Inside this new school community, I'm hosting weekly one-to-one calls with direct access to myself and my power team. And this team have worked with me to scale the email marketing, the Facebook and Google ads of all of my portfolio brands. So it's huge value in there. I'm also hosting and creating specially designed tools such as the ecom margin calculator inside the school community, which is a must for every single ecom business. As an added bonus, I'm also building my 100k a month ecom course for those who want to skip the queue and basically learn to implement all of the lessons I've learned in almost 10 years in online business in 8 figures in revenue. This is all going to be hosted inside. This new school community is perfect if you're starting out or if you're wanting to scale to 6-figure months and you have an established product market fit. I've built this school community to be the resource that I wish I had. This is exactly what I needed when I first started out. Okay, I'm distilling everything that I've learned and putting it into a bite-sized, easy to understand course so that you can learn and avoid the same mistakes that I made as a beginner. Trust me, this is going to save you thousands of dollars in wasted value, and it's just going to accelerate the whole process of scaling your business so that you can realize the lifestyle that you want. Please do not make the same mistakes as I did. Okay, learn from those who are 1 to 2 steps ahead of you. So back to conversion rates. The point I'm getting at is that your conversion rate optimization is a very large topic, like way too broad to box off in this one episode alone. But the long and short of it is you need to learn the eternal art of sales and marketing. Inside my school community, I have a full course that I'm building called Know Thy Customer. This goes into this topic in way more depth, but the long and short of it, for the purposes of this episode, is that you must have a deep and thorough understanding of who you're selling to and also what appeals to them, or else you're never ever going to be able to design a killer landing page or an offer for them. You need to know them more than they know themselves. I also have a worksheet hosted in my school community, which you can get access to now. This delves really deep into your offer hypothesis and looks into consumer profiling. And this is so that you're able to accurately assume, in the beginning at least, and then confirm once you have real world data what your target market looks like. So make sure you join the school community for access to this and all of the other important resources. So in this worksheet, we're delving 4 or 5 levels deep into customer profiling. So we're not just going into like age and gender, we're going into the location, their likes, their dislikes, their loves, their hates, their frustrations, their desires. Like all of these come together, and this is what we can use to capture that attention and convert it into sales. This is super important. Remember, your website has one main job, that is to attract, retain, and convert attention into money. Essentially, to distill that, it means your website is there to make you money. It does this via strategic use of copywriting and media. If you don't take time out to understand and learn more about your customers than they know about themselves, you will forever, I promise you will forever struggle to increase your conversion rate. Do not skip this step. To use a metaphor, think of yourself as a social media company. For example, Facebook knows more about you than you know about yourself. It's able to accurately feed you content that you'll enjoy. If you enjoy the videos it's presenting to you, it knows you're way more likely to stay on the platform and keep scrolling. This means more advertising dollars for Facebook. Make sense? So for this to work, they really need to first understand and study your online behavior. They need to profile you. So they're thinking and they're looking at what videos are you watching? Which ones are you scrolling straight past? What searches are you typing in? How can they show you more of this type of content and less of the content that you're not stopping in the scroll feed for? You get the idea. If they don't know or don't take the time to understand your media binging habits, you wouldn't really spend much time on that platform. They wouldn't make any advertising revenue. This is exactly the same in e-commerce. So if we go from the beginning, if we're assuming we don't have any data on your target audience, you can also model what the social media companies are doing. For example, when you first sign up to a new platform, they need to start with predictions or say a hypothesis, and they'll use this data to slowly feed you more content that you'll enjoy or content that you won't enjoy. You can also do the same using my niche, offer, and hypothesis framework. This is also covered in my course, but basically it's the process of making an assumption about who your customer is, so profiling them, which offers they'd value, and then testing each of these to get results, which then feeds back around into your marketing. As an e-com brand owner, you're always going to be in the circle of constantly getting to know your customers better. You either use an assumption, or ideally you speak to them directly to find out what they want. And then you create an offer, product or service around this that you can sell. Remember, we live in what is framed the attention economy, and this means that your whole conversion engine needs to be carefully mapped out around your target customers' deepest desires and ideally their problems to present your products as the ultimate solution. When it comes to conversion tools such as a product page or a landing page, you really need to speak to your customers. Speak to their problem. Show them unequivocal evidence that your product works. Talk their language. Show and tell them, leave nothing down to chance. Lead them on a well-architected journey that leads them with no option other than to want to buy your products here and now. And for those that don't, make sure you're capturing that attention by giving value to get their contact information so they are able to give yourself a second, third, fourth, basically a fair chance of converting them over time and across platforms such as email. If you're paying to run traffic to a website that is under-optimized, then you're essentially pouring your Facebook ads money down the drain. You're paying to send traffic or water, if you use the analogy of water into a leaky bucket. Yeah, it's just going to go straight through and you're not getting that money back. So this is so important to get right before you turn on the ads, not afterwards. Try and get that sequence right. Another point is that not all customers buy on impulse. I think the average touch points for most online sales is around 4 to 7 interactions with a brand. So it's also key to remember not to be overly focused on converting people first time. So you can take steps to get around this by ensuring that you've got the correct softwares embedded to give you those second, third and fourth chances to convert. And most times this is around email or retargeting. We will cover email in a separate episode, by the way, but for now, let's just stick on the website. All right, so the other part of this equation is looking at your average order value. And here is how to amplify your results. Increasing your average order value can drastically increase or improve your ROAS without having to change your ad strategy at all. Here's just a few effective methods off the top of my head. So first one is upsells. Can you offer complementary products or offer a discount immediately after purchase? This again is going to encourage your customers to buy more in one single transaction. You're getting more bucks, okay? You're getting more from the same customer, which indirectly is going to improve your ROAS. Another way is to offer bundles. This can be packaging or combining products in a bundle and then offering a slight discount. Sometimes bundling can increase the perceived value. It encourages larger purchases, which again is higher AOV for you, which is amazing. And then the third one is incentives. So something like maybe providing free shipping over a certain threshold. This is a really powerful motivator for customers to add more items to their cart because they qualify for free shipping. Again, so it's a slight trick and most people know about it, but there's ways to embed this so this actually increases the value to the customer, or at least the perceived value to the customer, and also revenues for you on the back end. These strategies, when you put them together, will all work perfectly to boost your AOV. It will give you a higher ROAS without additional ad spend. That's the key, okay? This is where you're really able to beef out your margins and scale your business. By the way, please let me know in the comments if this is useful intel, and I'll do more of it. But anyway, I've rambled for too long. So let's bring it all together and summarize. So we're basically saying that we need to control variables that are actually within our direct sphere of influence, unlike Facebook ads, which are kind of based on algorithms. We need to center attention on our key controllables, which in this instance are web conversion rate and AOV. If we're able to create a more effective conversion engine that speaks directly to your customers' problems, likes, and desires, we'll instantly convert more traffic, indirectly increasing your ad efficiency. The other side is to offer upsells and bundles, which will generally improve your profitability over time and therefore your ROAS. As a bonus step, you can also make sure that you have what I coin the eternal funnel. And this is where it's not just about single one-time purchases. This is like the secret to building like a really powerful long-term brand. And it's by retaining customers and making sure they come back time and time again. This switches the focus to LTV, which is your lifetime customer value, and this is how you scale fast. Of course, different products may have different LTV metrics. It's depending if it's a single one-use product, or if it's consumable, or if it's just something you buy once. However, there are strategies for both to make sure that you're able to retain and upsell customers. Again, we'll get into this in another episode. So yeah, final thoughts. If you're able to focus your attention on conversion rates and AOV, this is how you're going to be able to instantly see improvements in your ROAS before you even start looking at tweaking your ads. Try these strategies. I promise you'll see good results. So yeah, I really hope you find these strategies insightful and valuable. Try implementing them, and I guarantee you'll be on your way to achieving a 10x return on ad spend. I'm putting a lot of this content together for free for your benefit. So if there's any topics, anything you'd like me to cover, just simply leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. Now, all I ask is that if you enjoy this content, if you want to see more, please subscribe and give me a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, guys.